Welcome to the Backyard Professor videos. I'm Kerry Schertz, the Backyard Professor. I've taken a couple of weeks off. I've been sick for the last week, and then this last weekend I took the scouts camping, and no, I did not video them. It was a good scout camp, though. A lot of fun. Got a few more merit badges earned and all that, so. Anyway, I think it's time to get back to some Hebrew, but I don't want to. What I want to do is I want to begin tying in the function and the use and the value of Hebrew, get us into the Hebrew texts in the Old Testament, various chapters and verses and so on and so forth. And I just received this last week, well, this last month, I'll put it that way, and I've been starting to read in them this last week, two very interesting studies on the ancient Jewish, the ancient Israelite Council of the Gods. This particular subject, Joseph Smith elaborated on way back in the 1830s. I mean, the scholars had the hints way back then, and they chose to ignore Joseph Smith. And now, because of the critical analysis of the Hebrew Bible, and because of the archaeological information out of Ugarit and some Mesopotamian, the Enuma Elish, and some Babylonian materials, we are now in the midst of, again, and I say this in a lot of my videos, but I'm quite serious, we're in the midst of a revolution of our understanding of the Bible and the ancient Israelite religion. I just received Michael Heiser's The Divine Council in Late Canonical and Non-Canonical Second Temple Jewish Literature. This is his 2004 doctoral dissertation. It's absolutely huge. And it's absolutely stunning. It is a beautiful dissertation. I will have recourse to Heiser. You can also find him on the internet. Heiser, Heiser. Look him up. He has several articles that I've also printed off that he has for free on his website on various different aspects of the Council of the Gods. He's very good. So I've been reading that, and then I have here Blake Ostler's new book, Of God and Gods. This is volume 3 in Exploring Mormon Thought from Greg Colford, just out last month. And I've gone through chapter 1, 2, 3, and I'm into chapter 4. And there's many chapters. There's 12 chapters, so I'm about a third of the way through the book. His analysis of the Council of the Gods in the Hebrew is masterful. Very impressive. Very important. It's these two texts that have caused me to say, you know, I would like to do a series of videos on this subject of the Council of the Gods, but I'm going to also throw up a whole bunch of Hebrew, because their analysis of the Hebrew is so simply superb. They show, once again, and I've said this several times too, I'm going to say it again, if you're reading the Bible in translation, you are not getting it, because it has been lost in translation. Truly. Michael Heiser shows this as powerful as anyone I've ever read. Blake Ostler really electrified me with his materials. What I want to do is I want to show you the Hebrew. I'll build up your vocabulary, some more vocabulary on the board, as well as how these scholars are analyzing the Hebrew. And again, we'll cover Genesis, and there's a lot of information in Kings, in Isaiah, in Jeremiah, in Zechariah, in the Psalms. There is an enormous amount of Hebrew scripture. Michael Heiser says there are hundreds of references to this Council of the Gods, and he demonstrates, and I will explore his argument in detail with you, but he demonstrates as powerfully as anyone I have ever read on this subject, and it's one of my very favorite subjects, that the Council of the Gods are not angels. They are certainly not human judges. They are divine beings, gods. For that is what the Hebrews teaches. And Heiser is masterful at this. Now, I've been accused of being arrogant in some of my videos. Well, I get excited. I don't mean to come across as being arrogant. And I'm not trying to be arrogant here. What I want to do is show you the enormous amount of literature that has come out now on this subject, this Council of the Gods subject, that is staggering. Again, it's a serious commitment of time. There really are thousands of pages of information. Now, I've touched on this in some of my other videos, but I want to focus exclusively on this Council of the Gods and how the various different scholars have approached the Council of the Gods and the information with the archaeology. The most confirmed doctrine that Joseph Smith ever taught is now out. I've been told the Bible refutes Mormonism. Not with this subject, the Council of the Gods. Joseph Smith is exactly correct here. And with this approach, with the analysis, Heiser, again, I'm gonna focus on Heiser because he's fresh out. And his PhD dissertation, obviously, seriously, peer-reviewed. I mean, this is not Mickey Mouse material. Heiser is pretty good. He shows that, and Blake Ostler even shows better with his sources and the way he presents the information. This theme of monotheism in ancient Israel is wrong. The ancient Israelites were not monotheists. Not at all. Now, that being said, they were not technically polytheists either. And Heiser discusses this very interestingly. But the theme of monotheism and the theme of creation ex nihilo is almost intertwined, as it were, with this theme of the Council of the Gods. Because in ancient Israelite religion, there is no creation ex nihilo. There is no monotheism as we tend to define it today. But there certainly was a Council of the Gods. And they mean that literally. And so did Joseph Smith. What I want to do is I want to share with you the biblical scholars' materials with you. And then I want to show the LDS scholars' materials with you, so that you can get some sort of an idea of what we're up against with this Council of the Gods. It is really an incredibly enormous and interesting theme. First off, of course, I'll show the non-LDS materials. Well, I was hoping to have a clean place to put this stuff. Oh, criminy! I have to clean this off real quick. Gotta take care of my research a little bit, you know. Woohoo! I'm back. Heiser, Michael Heiser. The Divine Council in late canonical and non-canonical Second Temple Jewish literature. Now, Heiser says something interesting also. He says, now that the consensus of biblical scholarship, critical biblical scholarship has been achieved, there was a Council of the Gods. This backdrop, this theme of the Bible, is the theme for the entire New Testament. And we can't properly situate the New Testament without this Council of the Gods. Now, that's bold. That's pretty strong. Coming from Michael Heiser, non-LDS man.